So we talked before about moving your families to Tennessee. Now, family's really important to you guys, right? And
Yeah,
you
big
talked
time.
and you talked before about how difficult it was for your wife when you guys were on the road and she was having to do all the non-glamorous things.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
in general, since you guys are away so much, how do you make it work with your families? I mean, is it just FaceTiming all the time, or do they come on the road with you, or?
They come on the road a little bit, but we do fly home a crazy amount of times. We could definitely, when we have like 2 days off or something, you could just stay gone, but we fly home a lot. I've been known to, one time this year, my son had a football game. He's in Pee Wee football, and he was 7 years old, and when it ended, I literally ran to my vehicle and drove a little too fast to the airport and got there 31 minutes before departure. So we fight hard to be there as long and as often as possible.
Well, the cool thing about being away from your families is that you guys are always with each other and you are family. What are like the pros and cons of being in a group with your sibling?
Do you want to guess?
You know each other's hot buttons and you push them all the time?
That's close, actually. Yeah, really close.
We always say that the best thing about being in a band together is that we get to be together all the time, and the worst thing is that we're together all the time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes a lot of sense. Our mom always wants us to sit together on airplanes. Like, it's really important to her. Like, did you guys get seats close together? We said, Mom.
Stranger danger.
Well, why is that important to her? That's interesting.
She still thinks, when you fly, it's like once or twice a year you're going on vacation. And of course, you want to sit together with your family. We're trying to explain, hey, we fly all the time. We're not worried about it. Well,
Right.
Whenever we do sit together, we take a picture and send it to Mom, and I think it makes her happy.
Probably.
Oh, that's nice.
We should probably ask.
Yeah, or else we're gonna quit. We're taking up too much room on my phone.
Well, you said also that it's really important for you that your music be family friendly.
Yeah.
Is it just because of the way that you were raised, or because you think that current country's too racy, or what?
I think people want real, right? Especially in country music, it's all about the stories and the story behind the song. And there's a lot of artists in country music who sing about what's real to them, and it might be different than what's real for us. If we sang a song about getting like absolutely wild and crazy on a Saturday night, it probably wouldn't sound super.
We'd have to use lyrics like cheese cubes and crackers if we're going to be honest.
About our backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, our backstage
And
is
cider.
Yeah.
Our backstage has more organic food and kale chips and chia seeds than you'd ever want to see in your life. It's pretty chill, but we also my kids, I love hanging out with my boys all the time, and I want to be proud of the music I'm making that I can show them. It's awesome when my son, who he never was a fan until like our music started taking off a little more. Now all of a sudden his teacher in school likes our music, and he comes home the other day with an actual High Valley poster and said, "Daddy, could you sign this for me?" And I said, "Sure. Is this for your teacher?" And he says, "No, it's just to hang in my bedroom." So I'm not sure what to do about that, but either way,
Did he order it from our website?
I think he got it from the basement when we store our merch.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
To son, good luck.
Exactly.
Love, Dad.
All the best, son.
So, so you guys are going to you guys are going to be even further away from your families because you're going to be touring overseas coming
Yeah.
up real soon, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I think is really interesting is even though you had this somewhat sheltered upbringing, this isn't your first time overseas. You've been to Africa a couple of times.
Yeah, we've been to Africa. We've been to Belize many, many times.
India.
Yeah, and this is our second time out in the UK, and we get to see other parts of Europe as well. We get to go to Germany, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a really busy 2 weeks, and they say our style of music goes over well over there, so we're going to have to see it to believe it.
I think that it will, just because I really feel, especially in the UK, that your music is really rooted in English folk music. It reminds me of that a little bit, so
Yeah.
I think that it will go over well. But tell me about why were you in India and Belize and Africa?
Oh man, we've done all kinds of things overseas. We went with an organization called Food for the Hungry. Went over to Burundi, Africa, and there's a village there, a farming village that we got to spend some time in, and because we grew up on a farm, and we found this farm village, and we actually took pictures of all the kids there and gave country music fans in America a chance to sponsor all these kids from this one specific village, and we kind of
worked.
Yeah, we got all the kids sponsored, and it's pretty amazing. So it's kind of like our own village that High Valley is responsible for making sure that it gets taken care of. And
It's a good challenge. It's we have a lot of great opportunities, and it's a good challenge for us to do something useful with it.
That's very cool. That's very cool, especially raising awareness about that amongst country music that's kind of a unique proposition. So that's pretty cool. So we have time for one more song, which is IBUB. And
thanks for letting me know.
Yes, yes. Oh, look at you. You were packing it up. No, one more song. I'm sorry to make you guys continue to work
Don't be
here.
sorry. We're loving it.
Yeah. So IBUB. Now, when I saw that and it had a U in the title, I was like, oh, they must be Prince fans. But then I realized they're probably not Prince fans. So
everybody wants me to tell a story.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Tell me the story. Go ahead.
Can I preface it?
Okay.
We have all the respect in the world for Prince and his family and his fans and his friends. Proceed.
So, I had never heard of Prince until he died recently, and at a hockey game, I heard one of his songs, and the next day we were in an interview, right?
And the people didn't know that we didn't know about pop culture, so they asked.
They asked which Prince song inspired us the most or something, and Brad said,
while I was trying to say, yeah, hold on, we actually. Curtis says.
I said I've never really heard Prince, but I did hear one of his songs yesterday at the hockey game, and it was Purple Flower. And then I realized that that's not what it's called.
And then we quit talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we started again.
We don't pretend we know.
I'm sorry to bring up these like very painful memories, but
No,
so tell me about the song IBUB.
It's actually inspired by Prince.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is it spelled that weird? Because when I wrote it, IB, like just all letters, IBUB, and supposedly that looked like Ibub, so we just changed it to IBUB. But it's probably out of all the, when you reference the folk kind of, I forget what you said, like the Irish folk or something, this song probably has the most of that out of anything. And part of me thinks it's because we grew up on all those hymns, and some of the ways, the melodies that you sing those old songs, I think originated over there. And this song, once again, is like a brand new song, but it feels really old to me at the same time, kind of like I've always known it. So maybe it was just in my head since the day I was born.
Okay.